Hi everyone, welcome to the hashtag second sat stash / 7. This is an open collab. It's hosted by several different people. I will try to link them all down below, but I found out about it through Maria's Miscellany. I think she's one of the main ones. So on the second Saturday each month, a different person in the collab, that's official collab members, pick 7 items, and for June 11th, which is today, Lori of paintgirlee, that's her channel, selected the following items: a postage stamp. Well, I had 2 choices with this. I'm going to go through what I picked out. I have these stickers, and this is postage stamp. In fact, it says Letter Express Essex 2 cents. And this even says postage 1 penny. So I have 2 options there. So I picked that out because it's partially used. I think maybe this was Tuesday morning. I don't think so. I think this was on sale maybe at, I don't know where. Anyway, and then so I picked that out. Now I could have gone also. One of the items, which you'll see, number 6, is a business reply envelope. Well, I don't have too many of those, but I found this Alzheimer's one. But I'm going to have to cover this with paper. So that's and paper is not one of the things, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cover this with some kind of designer paper that will go with the postage stamp. Okay, so next up is washi tape. And since this sort of looks vintagey, I went looking for vintagey looking washi tape. I didn't find much, but I thought these black butterflies on like a craft color tape would be good, and they are Craft Smart. So I think that was Michael's. Yeah, that was Michael's. A long time ago. It just says distributed. Yeah, Irving, Texas is Michael's. It does. MSPCI, yeah, that's Michael, sorry. And then I also have this butterfly, which sort of has a vintage look, but a little more color to it. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. Maybe both, I don't know yet. And then the next thing is a heart. So I picked out my Heart Punch Duo, and I'll do something with those, either out of designer paper or cardstock or something. And a die cut of your choice. So I haven't used this yet, but I picked out this flower out of the Ranunculus Romance. This is, I guess, a ranunculus flower, but I picked this out, and I could, no, this isn't a die. I might end up stamping that too, though. I don't know yet, but that's my die cut of choice because there's no stamp for it. And, you know, with butterflies, you gotta have flowers, right? So I do. So I wanted to use that. And then number 6 was the envelope, which I already showed you. And then number 7 is, oh, wait, I missed one. Embossing folder. I picked out this, this just retired from Stampin' Up. It's called Tasteful Textile. It's one of my favorites. In fact, I have some pieces here. Yeah, maybe even like that one I'll use, huh? Something, or this one. This I think this might work actually, because it's similar coloring to that. Look at that. And then I can just add some more what do you call it? I'm thinking of making a slimline card because I think that'll fit really well in the envelope that I have, which I've already lost. Here it is. So a little longer than this. So I'll have to cut some card. So that's where I'm going with this, a slimline card. And oh, the last thing is cheesecloth, which I do not have, but I picked out this ribbon that's from Stampin' Up. It's not cheeseclothy, but it's fabric-y, and it frays. So I might cut some bits off of it and intentionally fray it. I don't know yet. I'm not quite sure. I may change my mind on that. Not positive. And then also with the washi, I have this little bit of gold. I don't know if I want to use that yet, but if I need a flash of metallic, I may use that. I'm not positive. So that's my starting point, everyone. Thought process, cover the envelope, make a slimline card to go in it. I'll probably use a sentiment, you know, like a hello, or just maybe thank you for sharing your heart, since we have hearts in it. I think that's my plan. I'll use that, and maybe stamp it right on a heart. I just don't know the placement and such yet, and I may end up using, oh look, we even have a postage stamp here, right? I think I said that already. So yeah, that's my starting point. I'm going to get off of here and I will come back and show you what I did. Okay, so I went digging through my scrap papers of retired Stampin' Up, and I found these three. They were from a while back. I think these two were out of a different set because this is a different texture. I'm thinking I might use this as the first mat for my card, and then possibly use these. They look sort of antique-y, and I was going for something that would go with the postage stamp. And then I found this, which I think it's all flowers. I'll have to put a label over it, but I think it's a little bit thinner than these two. These are really thick specialty papers. I was going to use these sides. This one's thinner, but it's not wide enough. So, and I'm kind of going with the peachy, and I thought that would actually go with this washi, any of them, yeah, if I choose that one over the other one. So first thing I'm gonna do is cover this envelope. So I'll be back. Okay, so I covered the envelope. Now the only thing is, I don't like the edges. So, and I was going to use this, but then the butterflies are turned sideways and the other one's not wide enough. So I have this washi. I'm actually kind of thinking of using this one, and it has a little bit of that same shade of sort of orangey pink in it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull that off. This is handmade washi I had bought at Target several years back. I don't know, sometime between 2017 and 2018 or 19 actually. All right, I'm going to open the flap up because I don't want to put it on the flap, and I do want to actually, first thing I want to do is try and cut it straight. So let's cut it right on that line, hopefully. All right. And then we're just going to put it right at the top. Hopefully I didn't get it at the top. All right. I don't want to go over the crease. That's my issue. I don't want to go over the crease step. There we go. Now if we can get it on straight all the way down. Oh, it's nice that it has lines. And then we're going to fold it over, but I have to cut it first. So I'm just going to cut it right on that line. Thank you, line, for being there. I have been known for not being able to cut a straight line, and I'm not cutting it exactly straight this time because, oh, and it fits perfectly there, although I got a crinkle in it. I'm going to have to snip a little bit off right up here. So how I did the paper is I first, oops, I had to put a little more glue under there. I first lined it up at the top edge here. Actually, let me do that right now. Put a little more tack in there. I might have to use a glue dot. Yep, there we go. I got it. I used a tape runner, and I lined the paper up, which only hung over a little bit, maybe half an inch, I think, something like that or less. And I folded it over, and then I took a pencil and marked the underside of the paper right about where this stopped, so I would not, and I got it a little bit crooked, but not too bad, and it's going to be hidden anyway by this. And then I just took the same piece, and all I did was lay it on here. I glued it down, making sure it was so the flap could work again still. I glued it down, and then I took scissors and fussy cut around, and you can still see my pencil mark there from the other one. All right, so let's do the other side. Let me get another straight line cut on here again. You know what, let's get the pattern sort of the same. I think it would be like this one. And I'll save this little square because maybe I can use it for an inchy or something. Yeah, save everything. Well, I haven't done the card yet, so we'll see what happens, right? And straight down, and then we'll cut that again. Okay, there we go. And fold it over, and then cut this little bit of corner over because I don't want it sticking inside the envelope. Okay, there's our envelope. I'm gonna have to try and find two white labels, one for up here and one for here. I'm sure I must have some somewhere in this stash of mine. If not, I'll use white cardstock and put it on there. All right, so now let me figure out the card and I'll be back. Here's where I'm at so far. I have a piece of Stampin' Up! Crumb Cake cardstock. It's cut 7 1/4 this way by 7 this way, and then scored at 3 1/2 because that is what should fit in this envelope. I don't know why I have a mark there. I'll turn it the other way. Well, actually, I'll leave it that way because I'm going to cover it. And then I cut this piece of cardstock I had mentioned, the plain one that looks like this. I just gently went around the edges on this side with whatever was left on this brush, which was soft suede. I might do a little more on there. I cut this piece down to 7 by 3 1/4, so it'll go there. Yeah, I definitely want to distress that a little more. And then that textured piece, I went over it a little more with soft suede. This is a 3 by 3 square, and I used the retired Stampin' Up! Detailed Trio Punch to do the corner rounding and this design on it, and that's going to fit here. You can see I put the vintagey looking washi across the top and the bottom. I die cut the ranunculus flower from the dies out of petal pink cardstock, which matches the background. I did use 2 stamps from Ranunculus Romance, which is a current stamp, by the way, and the bundle retires 6/30, but the stamp and die will continue separately. And I used this one, and I stamped off, so I stamped with soft suede, but I stamped off on scrap and just did 3 of this, and then I used this one and went over it some more. Should have done that before I put the washi on, but you know, hindsight's 20/20. And then I die cut the background heart with the ridges out of this scrap of paper. I think I'm probably not going to end up using this unless I use it as a strip over here somewhere. And the thing is, I didn't find any cheeseclothy like stuff, but I just found this piece of this hunk of lace, and I'm thinking I might just put a little bit of lace behind or sticking out from this. So maybe, I don't want that real skinny tail, but maybe just a little bit behind it. I think that's where I'm headed with that. And then of course the postage stamp, and I'm gonna have a sentiment heart on top of here. I think these actually look better with it because they're more brown, but the black comes in from that. But I actually think, I don't know, you know, I'm not sure about that. I might put one of these on, or I have the postage stamp punch somewhere, and I might, maybe I'll cut that out of this same paper and then put something on top of it too. And I still may use those brown ones. Maybe that's, you know what? Let's see how that actually, ideas, right? I'm gonna just cut that out of regular card, maybe out of crumb cake, and maybe put one of these colorful butterflies on it, like this one. If I cut that out, and then have one of the circle things on. I'll see if I like that. This is how I roll. I just experiment. This is sort of like a postage stamp too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna cut that butterfly out, fussy cut, and use the round postage stamp kind of thing on it, but I'm gonna distress this a little more too, and this background a little more. So that's where I'm headed. I'm not gonna hold you up anymore. I'm gonna put some lace behind here too, and then I'll come back with the finished card. Okay, everybody, I finished. Are you ready? The only thing I didn't do is put the labels on the outside of the envelope yet, but here is my finished card. So I did use the postage stamp, and I had mentioned about the lace, so I used that, but I also found I have this is current, well no, I think this is retired ribbon. It was from the January 21 to 22 annual from the Fine Art Forum. I think it retired. Don't hold me to that. Anyway, I just used a piece of that under the hearts. The heart I punched out in Very Vanilla, and I stamped that "Thank you for sharing your heart" out of the Ranunculus romance stamp set that I showed you. So from that I used this stamp, and the sentiment, and I stamped it in Memento Tuxedo Black rather than, I was originally thinking to use the soft suede like I used to edge, but I thought it would show up good, and it brought in the black from the butterflies and the black from the printing on here. This butterfly and these two little ones, and also this one inside, were cut out of the washi, because when I rolled it to get, you know, this butterfly for this stamp up here. Oh, and by the way, this is that little leftover little cube from this that I used on the envelope, so I put it under that butterfly. But when I rolled it out to get to that, you can see it's right here, and there was a yellow and a black one, so I just cut those little ones out. And there was also, I don't know how I ended up with a yellow one, a big yellow one too, but I did. Anyway, that's what I put on the inside, and I have one more left, which I am thinking about fussy cutting and putting right here on the back of this envelope, or possibly maybe right here. I think I'm going to put it right there. So I'll do that later because my cat is requiring my attention. The only thing is I used you know, tape runner originally on the back of this, and I had to go back and use wet glue because of the lace under there. They just weren't sticking right, and I had to actually hold them down for a while to get them to stick. So I did that, and then I just put some tape under the middle of the Ranunculus die cut flower, because we were allowed to use a die cut. And then here's my hearts punched out of this scrap of paper. I don't remember what this was called. It's about 2 years old or so from Stampin' Up. I didn't end up using this. So as far as postage stamp, I actually have the punch postage stamp, which is current with Stampin' Up, rectangular postage stamp, and also this round, sort of up on foam stamp that has a date on it, but I made it into a butterfly postage stamp with the date. And then this is bumped up on foam dots, dimensionals, Stampin' Up dimensionals. And first I just flagged this and put it down with 2 glue dots onto here before I put the heart back onto it. So that is my card, and then this I cut a little bit short. It was supposed to be 7 by 3 1/4. I got the 3 1/4 right, but when I went to trim the 7, it slipped in my trimmer. I wasn't holding it down tight, and it was on my lap instead of on the desk, you know. So it's about 7 by 3 1/4 roughly. I used the same washi like I did here, and then just fussy cut that one last butterfly. And I did go around the edges of that also with the soft suede. So that is my project for second Saturday, second Sat/7. I think I did okay. I used a couple extra things. I used the lace, and actually this ribbon is a fiber kind of ribbon too. And it frays, as you can see, it's fraying here. I cut it like 3 times now, but I'm just gonna let it go. So yeah, those I substituted for the cheesecloth, but everything else, washi tape, washi tape, washi tape, washi tape. Stamps weren't called for, but you know, I wanted to add to the vintage look. And the envelope, the, what do you call it, the business reply envelope from Alzheimer's. I have another one, actually. I got 2 in the mail, so I just used that one. And yeah, I used 3 different kinds of washi tape. And I'm thinking, is there anything else? Let me get my list. Did I miss anything? Postage stamp. Oh, embossing folder. This piece of Very Vanilla was embossed with the Tasteful Textile embossing folder by Stampin' Up, and then I just brushed it with the soft suede ink by Stampin' Up. But you could use Vintage Photo or any other color, you know, you had Distress Oxides instead. So postage stamp, sticker, and the punch, embossing folder, this, washi tape, butterflies, and the plaid or square, whatever it's called. A heart, I used the punches. Die cut of your choice, I used the flower, and use it like sort of like a doily. Business reply envelope we already talked about, and cheesecloth I didn't have, so I substituted a bit of lace and that cloth ribbon, textured ribbon. All right, everyone, please go check out Maria and who is this? This is, the list is by, oh shoot, front page again, by Lori at paintgirlee. I'll put the link to Maria and Paint Girl, but there's about 7 or 8 or more regulars. I'm trying to be regular but not have my name listed just in case I can't play along some month. And it's an open collab, and you can just click on the hashtag that I'll have in the description and also in the title line, and go see what everyone else made. We post at noon Central or 1 p.m. Eastern each month on the second Saturday. Okay guys, have a great day. Bye.